Welcome, everyone. Can you hear me okay? All right, good. We have a big truck or two roll by. We might have to yell a little bit louder. But thank you all for being here on this great Peoria day as we cut the ribbon on the finished product for our warehouse district in downtown Peoria. Before I get going, there are a couple of elected officials I'd like to thank, obviously starting with all of my colleagues on the City Council. Councilmember Jensen is here, Councilmember Riggenbach, Councilmember Akeson. What a team effort we've had with the Peoria City Council, and the mayor certainly sends his regrets that he's not able to be here with us today. Also, County Board Member Junior Watkins is here. Junior in the back, thank you for being here and the leadership that you've shown for downtown and for our county. I want to thank also our Public Works team, who's put this event together today, obviously, but much more than that for years has been leading the way on this project. So a big round of applause. Maybe everyone from our Public Works team, if you'd wave, our city engineer Scott Reese, Mike Rogers, our director, and so many more. We also need to thank and recognize the members of the skilled trades, the men and women who worked day in and day out for years now on the beautiful finishes that we have throughout the warehouse district. Marty Helfers is here and many others. Give a round of applause to our trades. Thank you very much, Marty. We need to thank Hanson. We need to thank Terra Engineering. We've had a tremendous project team that has collaborated this to make this possible. This is a $30 million investment project in downtown Peoria in the warehouse district. So why don't you extend a round of applause also to Cindy, to Jamil, to George Garib, and everyone that's been involved from a leadership perspective on the engineering team. We have a number of volunteers that have been working on the warehouse district for so many years. Councilwoman Akeson just sent me a text message talking about one of the formational meetings 10 years ago about a vision for the warehouse district. I think Ron Bazinski was part of that team. Many other people that were part of our Heart of Peoria Commission, thank you for your vision here with us as well. The last bit of thank you goes out to all of the businesses that have been impacted for 3 years now. We broke ground right at this spot in March of 2012. So for over 3 years, our businesses have worked with us and accommodated a lot of headaches while we've worked to transform the warehouse district. And they've been tremendous partners, understanding the vision, and then now obviously getting to celebrate at the end results. So thank you to all those businesses. So this has been, it's 3 years of construction. The city's real active involvement in this project began about 6 years ago in June of 2009 with a visit to the Department of Transportation in Washington. And so we had an understanding of this tremendous vision that we wanted to transform our warehouse district, become the new centralized neighborhood for the Peoria region, and match up the legacy of these incredible older buildings with a modern streetscape that could really accommodate us creating a mixed-use neighborhood down here. So it's been 6 years in the making. It's been an incredible journey, and we couldn't have done it without all of you. And so while it has taken a very long time, we are so proud to be here celebrating today. One of the leaders that is such a strong champion of infrastructure funding, of investment in our community, is our state senator, Darren LaHood. And although Darren covers 10 different counties, he's always had a particular focus and appreciation for the importance of his hometown in Peoria. So Senator LaHood, I'd welcome you to the podium and invite you to share your remarks with us today. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Ryan, very much. Well, I would just echo the comments that Ryan had here. And, you know, if you look at the collaboration that went into this project, you know, I think it's indicative of the three flags we have behind us here, the city of Peoria, the state of Illinois, and our American flag. And you think about the federal input, the state input, the local input, and all of our private businesses, the collaboration, working together. This is what happens when we work together in Peoria. We have projects like this, and it's a testament to the commitment and dedication of people that are here today that we are transforming our downtown Peoria. And what happens with good infrastructure when we spend dollars, state dollars and federal dollars on transportation, businesses come and it promotes the private sector. And we're going to grow the economy with more private sector growth in Peoria. And you look at everything we have in downtown with the New World headquarters and the ballpark and everything along the riverfront and the new businesses that are sprouting up and people living down here. It's great for our community, and it's a testament to people here and the strong working environment of governments working together and helping to build Peoria. So I'm happy to play a small role in that with my colleagues in the legislature, Representative Gordon Booth, Senator Dave Kaler, working with our local officials along with Dave Leach to help make this happen. And I will continue to be a strong advocate for helping to build Peoria downtown here. Thank you for having me this morning.
You know, if you look behind us, this vista is so incredible. And you think of the portal sculpture here. I don't know if George Cotterman is here, but his work on behalf of the Art Guild and leading the fundraising to place the portal here is really incredible. One person who I do know is here is Joe Ritchie. And Joe, good to see you there in the back. You think of everything that this type of infrastructure investment has unleashed now for our community, and with the great weekend we had with the unveiling of the sculpture walk, none of these things would be possible without the investments and the tremendous partnership that has been developed here. So thank you, and we look forward to so many good things to come. Another state senator that has just been a critical advocate for us and such an integral piece and leader for our investments in downtown Peoria is Senator Dave Kaler. And unfortunately, I know that Senator Kaler can't be with us today, but Jennifer Allison from his office is here. And so Jennifer, we'd have you come forward and offer a few remarks on behalf of the senator. Thank you.
Need to lower this a little bit for me. Senator Kaler deeply regrets that he can't attend. He's actually at a family reunion out of town. But he has believed, I think, as all of you, for the longest time in this project. Not only does this project bring so much growth for this area in terms of tourism, in terms of recruiting families to this area, but obviously endless investment. This is something that the senator is very strong in his beliefs and actually plans to continue working towards it. He's working with Senator Stottleman right now to help preserve the River's Edge revitalizing for this area. And that's something that is going to take a lot of work, but it's something we're definitely waiting on and working towards. More than anything, he asked that I make sure he conveys, or that I convey for him, his appreciation for every different group, person, and organization that was involved in this. We know, as has already been mentioned, there have been so many different groups that have made this happen, and we are excited to see what this all brings. So thank you.
I mentioned that the work of the city began in earnest 6 years ago on infrastructure funding for downtown and with an important visit to Washington, D.C. and the Department of Transportation. The other half of that, as you know, we've received federal funding for this project, but we've also had just as much, and in fact a little more, funding from the state of Illinois. And I can tell you that 6 years ago, after being elected to the state, to the Illinois House of Representatives, State Representative Jahan Gordon Booth rolled up her sleeves and said, I am going to count on this project as being a top priority for me. And so another thing that we did 6 years ago under Jahan's leadership is we had the Secretary of IDOT here, and we both got in a van and took him around and said, here's our vision for downtown Peoria, and here's what you can do to help us make that happen. And I can tell you, without the leadership of our state representative, we would not be here today cutting this ribbon. So I would like to bring forward now our state representative, Jahan Gordon Booth.
Well, too much good. Oh, that was so kind. Thank you. sometimes there's so much going on that you forget all the things that have happened in order to get us to where we are today. But thank you so much for those kind words, Ryan. This was 6 years ago a top priority for me, as well as it is today. Myself, Senator Kaler, Senator LaHood, Representative Leach, we all work together in a bipartisan fashion. Oftentimes, it doesn't seem like that happens as often as it should, and it probably doesn't. But when it comes to fighting for issues for Peoria, I can trust and believe that happens every single time we come to the table to work on behalf of our community. When we look at all of the investment, we can't thank the community groups enough, the businesses enough, that have come together to spur the action from the elected officials to sort of create the environment so that businesses can then come in and do what it is that they do best, and that's grow and prosper and flourish. So we can't thank you enough for the excitement and the investment that you all have brought to this community and to this area, because if we can fight for tax credits, we can fight for grants, but if it wasn't for the community groups and the businesses that come in and continuously make those investments, this wouldn't be happening today. So thank you on behalf of the entire legislative delegation.
So probably the one flag that we don't have up here that we ought to really indicates just how much of a partnership these improvements have been, and how lucky we are to live in a community where we all roll up our sleeves and work together. So again, if you go back about 6 years ago, one of the other things happening that was critical to our community at that time were the citizens of Peoria County stepping up to say that we will self-impose an increase in our sales tax so that we can develop a museum in downtown Peoria and a Caterpillar Visitor Center. And as a result of that vote and that investment, Peoria County stepped up not only to build a museum downtown, but to partner with us on the improvements of Washington Street. And in appreciation of that, I'd like to have Vice Chairman of Peoria County Board, Stephen Morris, come forward. And we can't thank the county enough for their assistance and involvement in this important project. Stephen?
Thank you. Thank you, Ron. Chairman Rand could not be here today and asked me to come, and he apologizes he couldn't be here, but he recognizes not just the functional significance of this here, but also the symbolic significance of it, as it is the gateway, if you will, to the warehouse district. And perhaps 5 years ago, I was on the county board and I was serving on the construction committee for the Peoria Riverfront Museum, and we were talking about the work on Washington Street, and Councilman Spain and Councilman Riggenbach also served on that committee, and it was really crucial for the county to have the city's perspective in the overall plan down here, because clearly what's good for the city is good for the county, and our ability to have that vision shared with us as we undertook this process down here was very helpful, and the county was pleased to contribute $1.4 million towards the Washington Street improvements as part of the overall project down here. This, and I won't get political on you here, but let me say this: this is not about politicians spending other people's money. This is about incenting the private sector. This is a catalyst to all the private businesses that are here, and private businesses that are going to come here as part of this process. And I'm just so excited about it. The County of Peoria is excited about it. We're pleased to play a role. And isn't it spectacular? Thank you for having us.
Okay, one more speaker that it wouldn't be a ribbon cutting in downtown Peoria and an important day for the First District without having Council Member Denise Moore here. And since joining the council 2 or so years ago, it seems like a lot longer than that, we could not have a stronger advocate, not only for the First District, but someone that wakes up each and every day tirelessly working to improve downtown Peoria, and our community as a whole. And we've been working on this project for a long time, and Councilmember Moore didn't miss a beat with jumping in head first to make sure that the revitalization of downtown gets better and better with each passing year. So Councilmember Moore, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. One of the things I want to make sure that we acknowledge is that the funding for all of this came from every citizen inside of Peoria. We've thanked all kinds of officials and businesses, but it comes down to the people who pay the taxes that provide the funds for these kinds of things to happen. If you've noticed all the activity on this street, I'm so happy you see that, because that means my phone is not ringing so much for the last 2.5 years, wondering when is this going to be over and why can't I get through to the riverfront. And so I want to thank all the citizens of Peoria, those who come and work in our city, those who have traveled through our city, for putting up with all of this construction over the last few years. It is truly those individuals who made this possible. And I want to thank each and every one of the private citizens who did that. So let's give them an applause too. We've been applauding everyone else. We need to applaud them. And yes, Ryan indicated the last 2 years I came in, and one of the first conversations I had with Ryan was, I said, look, you've been shepherding this process through from the beginning. I do not expect to come in and take over. Thank you for including me in on the conversations and the meetings and that kind of thing, so I can be apprised of what's happening to let our citizens know. But truly, we need to give another hand for Ryan, because he really walked this process through. Thank you, Ryan. And I thank each one of you for being here, but guess what? I'm done. We'll have cake and you can go back to work. Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Moore. We're about ready to cut the ribbon, but just so you have a little bit of the taste of what's to come, right? So we've been working on this for many years, as we've talked about. We've been under construction for many years. And now the real fun begins, because the construction doesn't stop. It simply moves off the streets and into the blocks. And I can tell you that we have a tremendous amount of activity poised for redevelopment in downtown Peoria. The old warehouse buildings that you see just a few blocks away that are 6, 7, 8 stories tall, many of them are under contract. Many of them have design activities taking place right now. They are all intended to be redeveloped for mixed use housing and commercial projects. We have a tremendous opportunities with artists in downtown and the important role that they play. We have new restaurants that have opened in the warehouse district. We have others that we all know about that are coming soon, and we have others that are developing right now. And so really the investments, as Vice Chairman Morris said, of the public sector now pave the way for tremendous investments of the private sector. We have several of our private developers here. I saw Kurt Huber is here. I sure hope Pat Sullivan is here. People that have been doing this work in downtown Peoria for a long time and will continue to do so. The chairman of our Downtown Development Corporation is here, or the president, I should say, Michael Freilinger. Mark Misselhorn is the chairman of our Downtown Advisory Committee. We have so many people that are dedicated to realizing now the private sector and private redevelopment opportunities of the warehouse district. And we remain committed to making this the largest and most vibrant neighborhood in all of Central Illinois. And thanks to all of you, I know that we'll get there. So I invite everyone that was speaking now and members of the council, if you join us right here, let's cut the ribbon. Thank you all for being here today. All right, 1, 2, 3.